Welcome back to the program, everyone. My name is Dr. Dan, and I'm a pharmacist turned weight management specialist. Today, we're going to review probably one of the most common questions that I get asked, and that is, what is the secret? How do I lose weight and keep the weight off? What is that one golden ticket, the holy grail that you have discovered and can help me with? But before we dive into that, hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any other videos or content that come out from me. As well, check out my other social media platforms at the official Dr. Dan. First off, let's start talking about the lifestyle and fitness industry. This industry itself is currently worth billions of dollars. And it is predicated on selling you the idea or the lie that because you are overweight or because you have obesity, you are not worthy. We have messaging all around us that tells us we don't deserve the car we want, the job we want, the partner we want, heck, even the life we want until we lose 20 pounds or we have the body of a magazine model. And then to top it off, if you go onto social media, you'll find a variety of groups and individuals that promote one particular diet, program, or what have you, such as like keto, intermittent fasting, body wraps, detox teas, you name it, the list seems like it is endless. And what ends up developing in these groups is really a tribe type mentality. I mean, it's good that people are able to come together and like-minded individuals. That's just part of human evolution. But it almost becomes too much in the sense that people say our way is the only way. And they are often the people that are the loudest. They are the cheerleaders of this group that say keto is the only way you can lose weight or carnivore is the only way you can lose weight. You cannot possibly do it any other way but our way. And they sell you that message that since it worked for them, it is going to work for you and all 7 billion people on the planet. So, Dr. Dan, is there one method? Is there one pill, one program, one idea that can be my golden ticket? There has to be something that can work for all of us, right? The truth is, there is no best diet. There is no best program. Every single program, plan, or what have you that has ever been developed on this planet, I can find you an individual that has lost weight and kept the weight off with that program or plan. But the thing is, it wasn't the special diet, program, or supplement that ultimately finally worked for them. It was more of the matter of science. Now, what do I mean by that? In order to lose weight, your calories that are going in have to be less than the calories that are going out. You have to create a calorie deficit or you will not lose fat. There's no special diet, there's no special method where you can eat as much as you want and still lose weight. That is just not the way the body works. This is based on the first law of thermodynamics that was discovered years ago by Mr. Newton. And as I said, in each case, they didn't lose weight because they reduced their carbs or because they went 18 hours without eating. In each situation, they essentially just created a calorie deficit, and that is what led to the weight loss. I know, I wish it was a better message, and as complex and as fascinating as our bodies can be, I wish we could just ignore the laws of thermodynamics and just have some special method or way of going about it. But the reality is we just don't. We have to follow the law of thermodynamics because that is the way our body works and that is the way that our world works. Now, stay with me here because I'm sure many of you are saying, well, obesity is a complex disease. How can we possibly reduce the process of weight management down to a simple physics formula that was developed a few hundred years ago when we have all these other complexities that are going on? Just what the hell are you talking about here? And you are right. You are absolutely right that obesity is extremely complex and that the process of intentional weight loss is extremely challenging. Now, while losing weight and losing fat can be defined by that formula calories in versus calories out, that formula doesn't take into account all the other complexities and factors that are involved in our lives between our environment, our genetics, our physiology, our learned behaviors from childhood. All of those things are going to play a role and have an effect in how you achieve a calorie deficit, how you get to having less calories going in than the calories that are going out. And the thing is, a large majority of these factors you have very little control over, if any at all. Now, many of these plans and programs, they can work in the short term. That's essentially what the fitness and lifestyle industry is selling you, is that they will work in the short term. They will help you to lose weight. But oftentimes they involve severe restrictions, suffering, and they can actually lead to the development of eating disorders. And fundamentally, the biggest problem with all of these is that they're not sustainable. They're not something that you can do for the rest of your life. You see, so many people take their life and they try to cram it into this program. But eventually, life fights back. Life says, okay, you want to fit in here? Good luck with that. That's not going to happen. And ultimately, you get derailed and you gain the weight back. It really should be working the other way, where a plan or a program or idea fits in with you and your lifestyle. You've got kids to take to soccer practice after school. You've got a busy, stressful job. You've got all these other things going on, and we have to find something that fits within those parameters and those confines, because that's your life. That is life, and that isn't going to change. So what do we do then? Can we actually lose weight and keep the weight off safely and long term? Is that actually possible? And I'm here to tell you that yes, it is. But there is no one size fits all. Fundamentally, it comes down to making small micro changes that can be built and compounded on each other over time. We're not talking about a drastic overhaul and implementing a new diet that you and the entire family now has to follow. We are talking about simple things such as, can you increase your protein with breakfast? Can you start having breakfast? Can we start having more protein and veggies at lunchtime or more veggies at dinner time? Starting with maybe, half a cup and then working our way up to a cup. Small little micro changes that allow us to start getting some points on the board and allow us to start moving in the direction that we want to go. Because you see, when we overhaul everything, we end up getting overwhelmed. Look at New Year's resolutions. How many of those have you failed over the years? You get really motivated because New Year's brings on this whole idea of hope and like, I can do it this time. And so you sign up for the gym, you get on this drastic diet, and you start going. And for the first week, all right, we can do it. We are in utter and complete pain, but you know what? We did it. And then the second week comes along and it's like, oh, okay, that motivation is starting to wane a little bit. And by the end of the second and into the third week, you've pretty much given up or have derailed most of the work and the progress that you're doing, partly because it all sucks and it's too much change, and also you're suddenly not seeing some magical changes that you wanted to happen overnight. So we need to start small and continue to build in small little micro ways. It's kind of like putting money in a bank account, right? That interest is eventually going to compound and build. So if you put $1 into your bank account every day for a week, well, you're only going to have $7. But if you put $1 into your bank account every day for a year, suddenly you've got $365. Same thing goes for your habits and for your daily behaviors. If you eat a salad for a day, you're not going to lose weight. But if you eat a salad for 3 days out of the week for a month, yeah, you might lose weight. But fundamentally, the biggest thing that we also need to do is we need to change our mindset from the scale and from the numbers on the scale. Because in reality, those numbers don't matter. The numbers on the scale are just a number. They don't tell me how healthy you are, how good you feel, what kind of relationships you have. It tells me absolutely nothing. If I had two individuals that gave me the same weight, I wouldn't be able to tell anything about them other than that they have the same weight. I could not tell you the health status of either single individual until I actually talk to them and do an assessment with them. So stop focusing on the number on the scale, get rid of it, and focus on health behaviors. Health behaviors are not only going to help us to build that worthiness that you are deserving of right now, but it's also going to actually give us the long-term health outcomes that we're seeking. So focusing on health behaviors looks like, hey, can I walk further than I did yesterday? Am I able to keep up with my children? Am I going to be able to travel when I retire? Do I just feel better in general? Am I more productive? Am I sleeping better? These are all healthy behaviors that are indicators that you are moving in the right direction and in reality are what are really important. So the next time that you have a friend or maybe a coworker that's lost a bunch of weight and they start telling you about their program and you start getting excited about it and, oh, maybe that'll work for me as well, I want you to ask yourself a question. Will this work for me? Are the changes that I would have to make be something that I can actually and honestly fit into my life? And if you say no, then that is not something that is going to work for you. That is not going to be something that you're going to be able to sustain. You might lose weight in the short term, but fundamentally, when you come off of it and get derailed by life, you're going to end up gaining the weight back. So find the small, sustainable changes that work for you and fundamentally find the changes that you enjoy and that you love and can incorporate into your life and how you can even include your family members in it as well. Focus on you and you alone, and you can start working and making progress on living the life that you deserve right now. Until next time, my friends, my name is Dr. Dan, and again, I'm a pharmacist turned weight management specialist. As always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss another episode. And of course, if there's any questions or comments, drop them down below and check me out on my other social media channels at the official Dr. Dan. Until next time.